Hi everyone, Emily here with the Champagne Agency. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the personal injury protection, also known as PIP, that's on your auto policy. So PIP is mandatory within the state of Michigan, and we're going to discuss a little bit about how it affects your rates. So the personal injury protection is going to be the PIP that's on your auto policy. It covers more than just medical expense. It also covers lost wages. It covers, obviously, if you're injured in an auto accident, regardless who's at fault. So whether if you're at fault in an auto accident or if you're not at fault in an accident, if you have PIP coverage on your auto policy, that's what it's going to pay out, is injuries in regards to an auto accident. Once the reform happened in 2020, Michigan law changed a little bit and it gave you the option to choose a lower selection than unlimited. Before 2020 happened, every single auto policy was required to have unlimited PIP medical. So when the reform happened, it gives you a different choice of selections, and then you would be capped at that limit. So option one is unlimited, which is what we're always going to suggest, and you are covered for an unlimited amount of money for your medical bills, God forbid if something happened. The next option would be option two, which you're covered up to 500,000. So you are capped at that 500,000. Anything over 500,000, you would have to pay out of pocket, or if you have health insurance. Option three is 250,000. So again, you're capped at that limit. Option four is 250,000 with exclusions. Some people that choose to exclude yourself will have to get what's called a qualified healthcare letter. So some of you may be familiar with getting that from whether it's your employer, HR department, just calling your health insurance, etc. Option five would be 50,000, and then option six is being opted out if you have Medicare Parts A and B. Anything less than 250,000, you do have to qualify for, which would be that option four, which is the exclusions with a QHC. Option five, which is Medicaid, and everybody in the household has to have Medicaid. And then option six is for people that have Medicare A and B. Anytime you do choose a lower selection, you do have to provide that supporting documentation because you do have to qualify to have that limit. There are some pros and cons with obviously having a different selection other than unlimited. Obviously, one of the pros would be lowering your lowering your rate to try to, work what's best for you and your family for what you can afford. But obviously, God forbid, if something does happen, you just have to remember you're capped at that limit. There's also PIP deductibles as well. So you can also just look at raising your personal injury protection deductible to try to lower your rate to try to kind of offset the cost. So choosing the right PIP option can save you more money a little bit, but you do want to ensure that you are not leaving yourself exposed to too much of a risk by choosing a lower limit. It's always good to review your options and all that good. Call us, you can email us, text us in. Even if you're not a client with us, you can send over your policy and we'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Other than that, I hope everybody has a great day. Bye-bye. Oh no, how do we end this? Oh,